Hi, everyone. Debbie Kelly, Field Specialist in Horticulture in Jefferson County. I'm here today to tell you about the SARE, Sustainable Agriculture Research and Education, the SARE Youth Educator Grant that is available for all of you to apply to. This is something that I think is really exciting to apply for. If you have an interest in educating the youth in your area about your farm, about sustainable agriculture, about farming in general, then this is an opportunity for you to get some funding to be able to do that. So let's look at what this grant is all about. So SARE, as I explained, is the Sustainable Agriculture Research and Education. It is a USDA agency out of Washington, D.C. SARE is divided into 4 different regions, and Missouri is located in the North Central region. So all you're doing is, if you submit a proposal in, you're going to be in competition with others that are located in the North Central region, those 12 states. You're not in competition with everyone across the United States. So this enables you a better opportunity to be able to get awarded the proposal that you would submit in. So what does the Youth Educator Grant do? It provides opportunities for an educator, and that's a broad definition that I'll explain in a moment, to be able to teach the young people in your community about sustainable agriculture, with hopes that those youth will learn, and then we hope that they will go back to their families and try to explain what they learned while they were participating in your grant, and also be able to see that agriculture is a viable career that they could tap into in the future. Listed on this slide is also the website of where you can go to download the RFA, the referral for application, and read all of the information in detail. And the application is actually part of that RFA that you can type into and submit that in. It's not a very complicated grant. It's rather easy to apply. So if you've never done a grant before, this is a good one to sink your teeth into, to start trying to get into the grant world. What is an educator? It is someone who teaches the youth about agriculture. It can be a professional educator, such as a VOAG teacher, someone within extension. It could be a college professor, someone who is classified already as an educator, high school or a grade school teacher. It can also be farmers, because you guys also educate people about what you do on the farm. So you are considered an educator. Anyone who does homeschooling, anyone who is part of a nonprofit organization that provides education to youth, of course, you guys can apply. Lots of opportunities. It's a very broad, very general type of a definition. So let's go on. What is the youth grant? When is it due? It's due November 10th. So you've got a little bit of time to think about it. 4 p.m. on that date. They're pretty strict about that. If your proposal comes in at 4:01, they're not going to accept it. You have up to 23 months from the beginning of when you can start your grant until the end. So that's a nice period of time. You can get up to $6,000 towards your project. And what's good about this is that you will receive 75% of the total amount of funds that you're asking for, to be able to use them as your startup funds to get you started in getting the project up and running, and just go with it. The other 25% you'll receive upon completion of the project, and there is a final report that you need to submit in, and that report needs to be approved. So 75% of the money you'll get up front. The last 25% of the total amount you've asked for will be provided to you after the grant is completed. So you need to keep that in mind, to know that there are some funds that you'll have to have and pay for that before you actually receive them in return, and make sure you keep those receipts. What is a successful grant? It's going to be one that clearly explains how the youth will learn about agriculture. What is it that you're actually going to be teaching? What is it that you hope that they're going to learn and walk away from your project, and hopefully share that information with their friends, with their families, because you got them excited about agriculture. They really, really would like to see farmers involved in the project, whether you are a farmer and they come to your location, whether you're also a farmer and you visit your location and learn and teach something, and then you go to a different farm, or if another farmer comes in to help educate as part of the project, but they really want farmers intimately involved with the project. They want to see collaboration with others. In other words, are you working with those other farmers? Are you working with other individuals or working with different schools and going into the classroom? Like to see how that emphasis of collaboration is there. Then they also want to know, how are you going to share your project results, what you did, what the goals were, what the successes were of the project with other educators so that they might be able to learn from you and then be able to share that information and educate youth themselves. So how are they scored? What is the criteria? Project leader or team and your experience with farming or education or both is 15%. The project design, what are you going to do? How are you going to get it done? What is the timeline that you hope to achieve? And what are the objectives that you hope to learn or to teach to those students, to the youth? And that's 50%. Outreach means, how are you going to tell other educators about your project? And then evaluation. How are you going to know that your project was a success? What are the rubrics, so to speak, that you're going to use to know that the youth actually learned something and that they're taking those ideas and concepts back to their home or back to their farm or back to their classroom? And that's going to be 15% of the project as far as scoring. We have 2 SARE coordinators in our state. Dan Downing is with the University of Missouri, and Dr. Toria Eaton is with Lincoln University. Both of those individuals are representatives of SARE and work at those universities, and they are more than happy to visit with you if you've got questions or if you need additional information about the Youth Educator Grant. Or you could always reach out to me if you'd like, and I can visit with you a little bit to kind of get you further down the road. And I'd be happy to assist you in any way that I possibly can. So hopefully you'll go ahead and look at this and decide to put in an application and help to educate the youth in Missouri.